Hello everyone, my name is Meghna Joshi and I'm from New Delhi, India. I feel privileged to be a part of the Impact Lab series by Put Youth On to share my journey about building my social enterprise by the name of Swan Livelihood, where Swan stands for Skilled Workforce Advancing Nation. So let's get deeper into, the functioning of social enterprises, how they are run, and also my own personal story of getting started with my journey. And also, in the end, we'll touch upon the concept of sustainability and the sustainable development goals, which are very, very relevant during the present day time. A little about my organization. We are working in the space of skill development. The entire focus is on empowering communities, workforce through our tailored training programs and workshop sessions to create a vibrant ecosystem of sustainable livelihood opportunities for a brighter future. And we work extensively with grassroots communities, youth as change makers, and also youth coming from the marginalized sections of the society, so that we are able to uplift them. We are able to create an ecosystem wherein nobody is left behind. So now you may be wondering, what is like the journey of a social entrepreneur? If you are wanting to get started in this space, what are some of the things, what are some of the challenges, how to navigate? So the journey of a social entrepreneur can be explained with the help of this image, wherein you may have a lot of dreams, aspirations in your mind, and it's the path that you choose for yourself, the path to reach to the top most level, to become perfect in your style of bringing an impact, either for a social cause that you resonate the more with, most with, and also it could be an environmental cause that you feel for. Now, the journey of a social entrepreneur is also about overcoming fears. And when we talk about, overcoming fears, when you are getting started in this space, there'll be times when, you may face a lot of challenges. Sometimes the idea that you're working on may be very, very unique and nobody else may be doing that. So, how do you navigate in this space? How do you overcome challenges? How do you move past through it? Is something that a social entrepreneur always and constantly thinks about. Also, it is at times a road not taken. The journey of a social entrepreneur, when you are navigating into the various ideation phases of getting started with your social enterprise, building upon what you already know, also gathering new facts and information, reaching out to investors. At times, you will find yourself to be in a lonely journey. So, in this case, in this scenario, how do you build confidence, resilience in yourself so that whatever ideas you have in your mind, you are able to convince others and also sail past through your journey of building your social enterprise. Now, at the same time, when we are talking about building a social enterprise, it is to do with two very, very important things. On one hand, there'll be a lot of problems, there'll be a lot of challenges that, you may resonate with and which you may be very, very passionate about to solve. And on the other hand, uh, there'll be a lot of innovative ideas which you may want to put into action, thereby building something that is very, very unique to yourself and also to your brand in general. And hence, when you dabble between solving a problem and also delving deeper into the problem to find those unique solutions, in the process, you build your USP, you build your value proposition, and in turn, your social enterprise. Now, the entire space of social entrepreneurship is very, very human centric. You need to put yourself in the shoes of the others in order to find solutions, in order to empathize and dig deeper into the problems that they are facing. And this will help you to build solutions that are unique in nature, solutions that don't exist, and solutions that will help you to create a greater impact to the problems that nobody has been able to solve and which exist in the present day time, either due to the social cause or due to the environmental reason. Now, when we are in the process of building our organization or our social enterprise, there'll be a lot of questions that you may face. So on one hand, when you are reaching out to your target audience, there is a possibility that your audience or your customers may constantly question you in terms of what is it or how is it that you are going to help them out. And on the other hand, there'll be you who will constantly keep questioning in terms of what is it that you are trying to solve? How is it that you are trying to reduce the pain point of your target audience? Now, the more you iterate, the better the chances of you to get unique solutions. And this will further keep your target audience happy or your customers happy, and they will be willing to pay for the product or the service that you are building in the process. So, whenever you are getting started with your social enterprise, there'll be a lot of questions that you may have in your mind. How do you navigate then in that situation? First of all, the first and the very foremost thing to for the process of getting started is to feel for the cause. Until and unless you are passionate about the cause, until and unless you feel for the cause, there is a very less likely chance that you will fall in for the idea that you want to scale on a long-term basis. Hence, only take up the causes that you resonate the most with so that you are able to delve deeper into the same to further innovate and build something that is unique to yourself, to your brand, and also in the process, it is able to solve some very, very critical issues in a creative and in an innovative manner. Now, second step, once you have felt for the cause, it's very, very important that you imagine. Now, imagination plays a very critical role towards building a social enterprise because the more creative you are, the more innovative you are, the more uniquely you have been able to decipher the problem that you felt for, the more unique your solutions will be. And this is something that the investors are constantly looking in for. Hence, imagining, brainstorming, coming up with creative ideas, creative solutions play a very, very important role in this entire process and the entire journey of building your social enterprise. Now, doing it. Once you have felt for the cause that you're passionate about, once you have imagined the creative, uh, you know, very innovative ideas, the next step is to take action. Because if it is all there in your mind and you are not taking out any action to implement your idea, you will not be able to see results. Hence, quickly pivoting the idea that you feel for, that you feel has got a potential to bring about a change in the environment and the society is very, very important. And hence, doing a small pilot at a given place with your target audience will help you to streamline or structurize the cause or to see the kind of results that you had in your mind and to also be confident in terms of analyzing whether the ideas actually work or did the ideas work or not. Now, once you have implemented the idea, once you have pivoted your idea, the next step is to share. And when you share your thoughts, either with the investors, either with your peers, either with your mentors, either with your industry partners, definitely you get a lot of feedback. Now, sharing is very, very important because it helps you to gain feedback from the experienced people, and also at the same time, there'll be new perspectives which you may be open to, which can help you to further strengthen the work that you are doing. Hence, you should never hesitate in sharing your ideas or the work that you have done, even if the work hasn't been perfect. Now, last but not the least are your reflections. Once people share, you receive the feedback. It's all about reflecting through the entire process of how you started, what you did, what could be improved, and then pivoting it again for a greater impact or for more efficiency. So, these were some of the steps that I also followed when I was building my social enterprise 5 years back. And these are some of the images that you can see on my screen when I was getting started. We worked in the space of skill development, and we worked extensively with youth coming from the marginalized sections of the society, and presently are also working towards the cause of uplifting rural women so that we are able to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. So, a little about uh, the target market here in India in the space of skill development in which we are working. So, the Indian market for skill development services, as per the secondary research, accounts to about USD 20 million, out of which Indian skilling sector comprises of or has a potential of 18 to 20%. Out of which we see that there is a lot of rural unskilled population. Particularly, the problem has increased more after the pandemic, wherein we saw how people who were residing in the urban slum communities started moving back to their villages to become self sufficient. So, the bifurcation also of the total population, which is 1.4 billion here in India, and the bifurcation of the population residing in rural India, which accounts to be the 65% of the population, and also the population residing in the urban India, which comprises of 35%, uh, shows clearly the dynamic between how many people, who are residing in the villages, in the rural parts, interior parts of our country, in comparison to the people who can afford their living in the urban landscape. And hence, we see a lot of potential in terms of empowering the communities and making them self sufficient, particularly with respect to rural India. Now, it was in the year 2020 when I got started with my social enterprise. My enterprise got funded with the seed funded support in one of my university incubators, wherein I just happened to pitch my idea. And back then, when we were working, our entire focus was on making youth employable, youth who came from the urban, marginalized communities. We were skilling them, and also we were placing them with all the retail chains across Delhi NCR. And the insights of which have also got published in a couple of management journals, which you can go through, which describes the entire framework that we had in process back then. And these are some of the pictures that you can see on my screen of how uh, intensive the training program was, both in terms of not just the classroom learning, but also in terms of providing hands-on experiential learning support in order to strengthen the attrition rate that normally existed in the industry, which through which people or the HRs were pained about. Now, in the year 2021, we further evolved our training programs into online mode as well, focusing more on the experiential learning fact, because this was the need of the hour during that time when we had entered into the pandemic situation. Everybody was wanting to know more about their inner skills, their creative side. And it was during that time that we launched the second phase of our skill training program, which purely happened in an online mode, which gathered a lot of attention of students from undergraduate and postgraduate colleges and also corporate fraternity. In the year 2022, we further evolved our training programs both in hybrid mode, in offline and also in the online mode, empowering communities at the local level so that they were able to make their way through the situation of pandemic, which was going on during that time, particularly when we, talk about the bottom of the pyramid. And some of the pictures that you can see on the screen, shows, glimpses of our different training programs that happened that were thriving even during that time. Because, we were constantly, even though we were constantly working in the space of skill development, but we, were evolving our training programs depending upon the need of the hour so that we were able to create a greater impact, support the communities, build our trust on them, and also forge collaborations, which is very, very key skill, a very important skill when you are running a social enterprise. In the year 2023, like I discussed before, the focus of the government and the need for the hour was more towards empowering the rural communities here in India. And with the support of a lot of organizations, we launched our training programs to further empower rural communities so that they become micro entrepreneurs and also they are able to become self-sufficient, self-independent in this entire process. Glimpses of our training program, which are still continuing, can also be watched on our YouTube channel by scanning the QR code that you can see on the screen. We have a lot of stories of our rural communities who faced a lot of problems and how they became self-sufficient, self-independent after attending our training programs, earning a thriving income between the bracket of 5,000 INR to 30,000 INR per month. Some of the glimpses of our award-winning rural women entrepreneurs can be watched on the screen, who not just showed resilience, but also were able to scale their organizations. They were able to win support of the government. They were able to get orders. They were able to win awards and accolade at the state and at the national levels. This year, we have also launched our Instagram handle by the name of Handcrafted by Her to further share inspiring stories of the rural micro entrepreneurs here in our country who are not just breaking the barriers, but also through their resilience, creating very nice handcrafted products through which they are able to earn a livelihood for themselves. Now, saying that, and also, showcasing glimpses of how we have been functioning in this entire ecosystem towards not just scaling our work, but also forging partnerships, forging collaboration so that more and more organizations, more and more people could come together and join hands, invest in our work, invest in our stories, and more importantly, help us to scale and empower many more lives. Over here, I equally touch upon the focus on making social enterprises sustainable because you build onto your work that you do each year. And sustainability also has to do with taking care of the environment in which you are working. And hence, sustainable development goals play a very, very important role. Each and every goal that has been proposed by the United Nations and that falls under the agenda of 2030 has or is intertwined in a way that each goal is linked to one another. And over here, I feel SDG 17, which is Partnerships for Goal, play a very, very important role to not just be confined to your own peripheries, in to your own cities, to your own countries in general, but also to scale your work, to amplify the voices of the work or the stories or the journeys of your community members at a global level so that more could be inspired, more could see the used cases, more could bring about an impact in their respective countries, and together we can join hands to create a global impact. Partnership for Goals SDG 17 at this point of time is the most critical goal wherein we should be building upon the work of one another. Competition is not the key to success, it is how we collaborate, how we bring everybody, all the stakeholders, be it academia, be it industry, be it civil society, be it government, be it private investors, everybody, be it young change makers, together into this space so that we not just innovate, we not just thrive, but we build on to the work of one another. And the earlier we do it, the better the chance that we will be able to succeed and create an impact that is not just limited to our respective cities, that but something that can be scaled at a global level, empowering many more lives. And like I always mention, it is all connected. We as an industry, we as a social enterprise is thriving because we, the founders or the team members, have a sound body, mind, and soul. They know their work, they are passionate about it, and hence they are able to thrive and work in an environment which is wherein they are not just being trying to bring about a change, but also trying to create an ecosystem so that everybody could come together. And this is all happening within the peripheries of our given ecosystem. Even if there is a disbalance in any of the three aspects, the chain will break. Hence, taking care of yourself as an individual, as a founder, as a social entrepreneur by practicing mindful ways of not just keeping yourself motivated, but also taking along the team, everybody in the process is very, very important. Forging good collaboration with all the stakeholders, and in the process, taking care of the environment. We all saw what happened during pandemic, and hence taking care of the environment is equally important in our journey when we are not just scaling, not just making profits, but also at the same time contributing to the environment. And over here, then again, through the glimpses of the pictures that you see on my screen, I very strongly feel that involving young minds is very crucial when we are building an ecosystem for social entrepreneurship. I strongly feel that young minds are the future change makers and they should not be left behind in the entire process when you are working towards building something that can be scaled up. And hence, using innovative ways, be it through business plan competitions, be it social entrepreneurship pitches, one must sensitize youth to take action so that more ideas, more innovative ideas could be brought in. And in the end, I would like to quote a very famous dialogue by Mahatma Gandhi ji, who said, "Be the change you want to see in this world." It is your individual efforts, it will be your ideas, it will be your services, it will be your products that you are building, either to solve the social cause or to solve the environmental problems, that will actually bring about a change, and it will start from you. So never hesitate, come forward, be a part, motivate others, and also never leave anybody behind. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me. I feel very privileged once again to be a part of this wonderful series, to be able to amplify my voice, my work across the prestigious platform. And in any case, in any which ways, if any help you need in your journey of building your social enterprise, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or any of the social media handles to stay updated to our work. Thank you and Jai Hind.